This example is about solving a system of equations, which just means solve for x and y. So we have two equations, two unknown variables, which means we can solve for each of them. So normally what you would do is you would take one of your equations and solve for one of the variables, but this one's already solved for y. So what we're going to do is plug in negative 2x plus 3 in for this y right here. So we'll get x squared, and this will allow us to only have one variable in this equation, so then we can solve for x. So x squared plus y, we're going to replace with negative 2x plus 3 so that's just for y, and then we're adding 2 plus that y, squaring that whole thing equals 5. Alright, let's simplify. So we got x squared plus a negative 2x, 3 plus 2 is 5, squared equals 5. Alright, I'm actually going to write this a different way. Do you see how we have negative 2x plus 5 squared, which means we have two of these guys multiplied together? So I'm going to write that out that way, so then we can distribute properly. So that means this really just means negative 2x plus 5 is being multiplied right there, equals 5. Okay, so I got x squared here. We're not going to touch that just yet. Plus, alright, let's distribute. Let's maybe do a different color for each of these. Alright, so first term times first term, negative 2x times negative 2x is positive 4x squared. Alright, let's change it to a different color. Green. Alright, first term times the second term, negative 2x plus 5. That is a negative 10x. I don't know. Alright, now I got second term and the first term, 5 times negative 2x, which is another negative 10x. And lastly, last term and last term, 5 times 5, which is 25. And I guess I'll go back to blue. Oh, that equals 5. Okay, so now we're going to combine some like terms here. So x squared plus 4x squared, that's a 5x squared. A negative 10x and a negative 10x is a negative 20x. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and combine these terms as well by subtracting 5 from both sides. So this is going to become plus 20 equals 0. Now let's simplify this even further. So you see how all of these terms can be divided by 5? Let's go ahead and do that. So this term will just become x squared, because 5 divided by 5 is 1, minus 4x, because 20 divided by 5 is 4, plus 4, equals 0, because 0 divided by 5 is 0. Now, you might be able to factor this. I don't know what your background is with factoring. You might say, well, this is x minus 2 squared, this term right here. Or you can just use the quadratic formula. So I think I'll just use that with you all. So remember, quadratic formula is a way to solve for x. So we say x equals, let me label all of our terms first. So this coefficient here is a 1, that's our a. This negative 4 is our coefficient b, and this 4 is our coefficient c. Coefficient just means it's the number attached to like the x term. Okay, so x equals negative b, so negative 4 plus or minus square root b squared, so negative 4 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 4, all over 2a. I kind of sang that. Sometimes you just can't help it. Okay, I'll let you simplify that. But this under the square root ends up being 0, because you see the 16 minus 16 is 0, so you're left with just a negative 4 over 2. Oh, excuse me, a negative 4 over 2, which means that x is just 2. Perfect. We solved for one of our variables. We are halfway done. Now, we're going to take a look at the second equation here. Y equals negative 2x plus 3. We're going to go ahead and plug this x into here to solve for y. So that means y equals negative 2 times x, which is 2, plus 3. And we simplify, so this is negative 4 plus 3, y is negative 1. That means your solution is 2, negative 1. What this really means is this circle right here and this line right here intersect at the point 2, negative 1, which you could have just graphed from the start. But this is how to do it algebraically. Alright, email me with any questions that you have on this, alright?